And so it's going to be a very short briefing from me. Of course, it will be interactive as always. But I can say to you, one word, the People's Democratic Party is ready for the National Convention scheduled by NEC for Ibadan, or your state capital, for November 15th and 16th, November 2025. I thank you for listening, and then we can have the conversation. And what we do is that we follow the constitution of our party. How do you have a national convention? We have started. Interestingly, when this process is started, we have been in sync with our regulator, INEC. INEC has been attending all the meetings. They're witnesses to all the things we're doing, preparatory to that. So if people, and like you said, that might be a media hype, people testing the waters. And I don't know which paper carried it. I'm not sure it's one of the mainstream here. I don't know which paper, even though you didn't mention. But the mainstream papers know that this party is moving towards Ibadan, that we're already there as a matter of fact. The local organizing committee is working hard. The venue committee, they're working already ahead of time. Even before the inauguration of those subcommittees, they're already working. We don't do hop, step, and jump. We're ready. And we're methodical in the things we do. So when somebody decides to please can we just disregard and let's focus on what is important. There will be no other parallel. In fact, it does not exist. So I think we should just focus on what we're doing as a party. And we're doing that. So if it's in the realm of conjecture, probably, and if it is probably the right reporter, I mean, you are my friends, we won't want to impugn your character, but I think it will be in the realm of hallucination. This party, through its neck, the authority that has the power, has scheduled the national convention, which is elective, for Ibadan, or your state capital, on the 15th, 16th November 2025, and this train has moved on. It's gone past the bus stop. We're actually in Ibadan as I speak. And a couple of friends of mine have asked me, again, we were doing what we needed to do an assessment. And I thank you for that question. Number one, let's put them in perspective and see where we have democracy in action, where the voice of the people can be listened to, and let's do a comparative analysis. On the face of it, you said one. That sounds somehow. For those who want to hear those, they can go and feel good. But what is important is to let's look at this. Let's take Oyo State. You saw the election. An election is what people can actually view and see and feel the impact and see people participating in the process. And there are no reports of people being locked up or all that. Then contrast that to what happened in Kaduna State. A night to that election, all members of the PDP, prominent members, were arrested. You reported it. I saw that. Flip over to Taraba State. Prominent members, including elected members of our party, were arrested. Again, so we don't call that an election properly so called. And I will see, and we've heard about the arrogance of the APC. What they've done with those elections to test for 2027. But I have a bad news for APC. What happened in those by-elections that they call election as it were will not happen in 2027. Why? The reason is that the Nigerian people are wiser. They are hurting. What will be on the ballot in 2027 will be the hunger, will be the uncertainty, will be the insecurity that no money can purchase. Only last week, in my little village, the chairman of my party the local government was kidnapped. Now it is so sad that when people get kidnapped in this country, you don't even talk to police. They say, go and look for the money. That sounds like a new normal. That's what will be on the ballot. And so the APC should know that the emulations, the praise singing of saying, oh, we have won. They didn't win. Because Nigerian people would defeat them because they brought hunger to this country. For more than 10 years now, APC had been a point of pain to Nigeria. They lied regularly. In the previous administration of the late President Buhari, what did they tell us? They told us they have intervention in agriculture, right? And they demonstrated by lying, by creating a wooden frame somewhere towards the airport, and they call it pyramid of rice. It turned out to be pyramid of lies, if you remember. And we engaged you then. But contrast that to when PDP was in government. Dr. Adeshina was a Greek minister. People were using their phone to assess farm inputs, like fertilizer. You remember that? I'm sure you remember because you reported it widely. So Nigerians are going to compare the PDP years with nostalgia. The golden years of prosperity, of democracy, of openness, of capacity to allow people to pursue their own happiness. So those are what will be on the ballot. So this cannot and is not and will never be, because what they did was that there were gloom in those areas they claimed to have won. You go and fast check it. And so that will be my reaction to that for now. That's why it's so easy, so to say. But there's a limit to which you can weaponize poverty and people say enough is enough. I guarantee you that many of such, in 2027, it will be a different ball game. I guarantee you that. Why? Because it will be unveiling, it will be unraveling the kind of poverty and the kind of life discounting expenses that Nigerians are facing. So they would have to change. That's my hope. That's my expectation. And that's what the PDP is preparing to galvanize so that we can have issue base. Not that we are always constantly being distracted by creating crisis in other parties. So that rather than talk about the government's failure and the challenges we have and the insensitivity of the government, we're busy talking about somebody is fighting in a party or not. We want to get ourselves together. We are already getting ourselves together. That's why you see the APC is jittery. That's why you find the kind of the news item that Chooks referenced. They want to take us back and say, oh, they have issues there. No. They know already this is a train that is moving. And it's moving steadily towards Ibadan for the National Convention, to have a brand new National Working Committee, creating education. Because when you get people that are educated, then they can make a discerning decision. It becomes difficult for you to say, take 5,000 naira, vote for me, and vote 4 years of your life away. They will say, wait a minute, I'd rather do this and do the right thing so that I can have what I call the possibility of pursuit of happiness. But we know we're working exceedingly well with INEC. You have noticed that INEC has been attending all the meetings. They will be attending that of the 25th, which is next week, Monday. And so all the decisions were taken. INEC was there when the decision was taken by INEC for the train to move to Ibadan. So they are part of they are monitoring that train going to Ibadan. So don't be worried about that.